And we're live. We are live. Afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 11 of the live Q&A stroke talk. If you're new here, this is just a chance for you to ask some questions. There'll be different handlers popping in that can maybe give some different answers to me, or maybe able to answer questions that I don't know. And then we'll have a little chat about different things, and we'll maybe go into some different categories. I've got a couple of things that maybe I want to talk about, and we'll go over some of the videos that have been coming up. Couple in early. Chip King, hi buddy, how are you, mate? How you doing? Sean Bartlett, hey bud, how you doing? I haven't got round to contacting people regarding the giveaway Zoom calls. Just Christmas, New Year, just trying to get all that stuff out of the way. But now we're back into the full swing of stuff. I'll start contacting. It was Sean, Tom Bailey, and Porsche K9. I'll contact you soon, where we can arrange these, where we can arrange the Zoom calls. Like I say, just been really busy, and obviously with family time and things like that, it's just not the greatest time to do it. So, Tom's here. Tom Bailey, hey mate, hope you're well and had a great New Year. Yeah, it was good. Just went to mum and dad's. There ended up being 10 of us at my mum and dad's, and yeah, just having a drink and that, and it all got a bit emotional. My dad, all very emotional because he had too much gin probably. But yeah, I had a good New Year, and then now back into the swing. This has been the first week back. So obviously Sunday. And Monday were obviously the bank holiday kind of hours. Tuesday back onto the 15-hour shifts. And yeah, started recording a video yesterday. So this coming week's video is going to be like a typical Tuesday into Wednesday shift. So you start with me at site. We go through a shift. I show a different couple of things that maybe I've not shown before. And then leaving the shift, going home when I get home, and then all the way up, and then I literally finished it just before I come live. So I've showed a setup of like the live that I do. It's not big production, as you guys probably know, but yeah. So this week's video will be joining me at the start of a Tuesday shift, joining me through that shift, and then going into Wednesday showing different bits and pieces and that. So. But yeah, back into a full swing of stuff now, and hopefully we'll get back to some normality, because over the Christmas period, New Year period, obviously with people being off, you start doing 12-hour shifts rather than 15-hour shifts. You get the double pay and things like that. So yeah, just get back to some normality and a bit of structure. I'd say that going to my shift yesterday was a bit of a wake-up call, because I've been doing 12-hour shifts. I've been able to have longer sleeps, chilling out for maybe a couple of hours before leaving work, where yesterday was the first day where I had a solid, right, I've got 6 hours to have some sleep, and then I've got to be out the door within an hour after that. So it's getting back to that structure of only having maybe 5.5, 6 hours sleep to then getting and leaving on time, things like that. So looking forward to getting a bit of structure back. Who else is here? Danny Rolfe, how you doing? Chip King, are you going training on Friday? I'm not. I've got my booster jab on Friday at 9 o'clock, so I can't this week. I'll probably try and make the week after, if I'm going to be honest. Like I say, I know it's his first one back after the New Year, but like I say, I've got my booster, and obviously that's reasonably important depending on what side of the fence you sit on with the vaccinations. But yeah, I'm someone that has got vaccinated, and like I say, I got my booster on Friday, so I don't want to miss that. So let's start with something that I wanted to talk about. It may be something that people have had before. It was the first time it's ever happened to me, and it was one of the strange things. So this is the first time it's happened to me inside or outside dog handling, and during the Christmas period, at some point we had a few people here, and I had to sleep on the sofa for a couple of nights, and that's not a big issue for me whatsoever. And I've fallen asleep on the sofa loads of times before. And one night I had a dream, and a dream or a nightmare, whichever way you want to look about it. And it was completely out of the blue. I don't think I've watched anything different to what I'd normally watch. And I basically, in the dream, is I was on site, the site that I'm on, the site that I work. And I was on site, and I had the dog in the van. I was in my cabin, and someone got into site. There was two people walking around site, and I went out to look at what they was doing. And basically, what happened was I went back into the cabin, and I basically had like a paralysis in my dream where I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, to the point where the people that were broken in come into the cabin, and they was actually asking if I was all right. And basically what it was just like a total paralysis where I couldn't talk, I couldn't move. I was just sitting in a chair, and like it was just something really weird that really happened to me. And I don't know whether that's because of the job I do, whether that's like an internal fear of someone breaking in and what would happen. Now, I've had no experience of that happening, so it was just really weird that I would get like a dream like that where I'd react in such a bad way. But it just made me kind of think of maybe people, if any dog handlers out there have had maybe some dreams, or they have like a continuing dream of something that happened to them on site, where you get that sort of stuff. Now, my girlfriend has had like sleep paralysis before, where they have. My girlfriend's had sleep paralysis before, where I've sort of woken up and she's having like a really bad dream, and she can't really move. And she said to me, "That's what that is. It's like it's a paralysis where you just forget how to talk, how to move, and things like that." And not say, I'm just wondering if there's anyone out there that's had a continuing dream, or whether they've had a dream that's something like that, where it's in a working environment to where you've had a really bad reaction and you can't really track it back to something that's happened or something that might have triggered it. Just thought it was quite interesting to talk about, because like I say, I've not had to deal with anything, so that must be like an internal fear that I've had, or a thought that I've had. That's just something that I thought was maybe quite interesting. UK Security 101. It could be this subconscious worry that in that situation you will feel powerless, mate. And that's kind of what it was. That's kind of what it was. I feel like that's what the paralysis was, that I was so scared of these two people breaking in that my body kind of shut down and went into like say a paralysis, where it just got overwhelmed with what was going on. So yeah, like I say, it's the subconscious worry of the situation and feeling powerless. Maybe that is something that's internal into me. I could kind of understand it if maybe someone had broke into site before and I'd had a bad situation and something had happened to me. I could kind of link it to that. But yeah, it's just kind of strange. Tom Bailey used to have some nightmares regular after working on the doors, mate, after shift, especially after a night of kickoffs. Was told it was to do with my adrenaline not leaving the system before sleeping. I know a few lads that have had it regular, mate, working on the doors. So that's interesting. That obviously that's still like security, but working on the doors. Stuff kicking off, and like I say, adrenaline not leaving the body. I can't remember. I can't imagine I would have had an adrenaline rush before going to sleep on the sofa around Christmas time. So I don't know if it was that, but I can understand that maybe with the adrenaline rush, your brain not switching off, because like when I'm on site, I don't really get adrenaline rushes, but my mind is always clicked on to, what if this happens? What am I going to do if that happens? And I think that's kind of something where on site, once you leave site, you have to be able to switch your head off when you go home, because like I say, for 15 hours, well, say, man, obviously I might be listening to a podcast or whatever it is, but for most of the time when I'm working, my mind is switched on to right, what would I do if someone come from this direction? What would I do if I saw some car lights coming from this direction? So yeah, like I say, on site, there's no adrenaline rush, but my mind does tick over a lot when I'm working. Definitely no adrenaline rush there, mate. Yeah, I can't imagine. I normally take my dog out for a walk before I go to bed, but that's not going to give me an adrenaline rush. But I can understand what you mean about like you had on the doors, where it's been such a busy night and stuff's kicked off and the adrenaline's kicked in, that it's. I'm not going to say it's like a shock kind of thing, but it's like one of them things where you have to let the adrenaline run down, and I think I can imagine that if you have something happen quite near the end of a shift, that when you go home or whatever it is, you'll need to sit down for maybe 1-2 couple of hours just to let everything calm down and let your head settle. Now, like I say, I don't suffer with any mental illness or anything like that, but just that kind of thing is I just wanted to sort of talk about it, because if that is happening to someone else and it is a mental problem, then maybe it's something that you need to go and speak to someone around. Now, I'm not an advocate. I'm not going to tell people what to do, but I just wanted to, if people have that as well, I just wanted people to know that I've had it too. And like I say, it's nothing there's nothing that's really I can trigger it to. It was just a really weird situation, and like I say, it may happen to other people, and they may think it's just them it happens to. But yeah, I had it and just thought it might be something interesting to talk about. So how was everyone's Christmas and New Year? I know, Tom, I know you had an incident between Christmas and New Year. I think it was. You messaged me, and you said that you had an incident, which you told me that your dog done really well. You said it was his first one. Was it your first person on site as well, or was it just the dog's first person on site? Because you said that someone come on, dog done really well, and you was really proud of him, etc., which is all great news. So well done for that. But did anyone else have anything happen over that time? Because sites and buildings or whatever it is shut down over Christmas, New Year, that's the time when a lot of people will target them sites, because they know that no one's going to be, or they expect no one to be there. So I'd say between Christmas and New Year is like a prime time that you need to be properly switched on, because they can turn up on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, where now they may turn up on like a Friday night, thinking that there's no one going to be there till Monday. So it's quite a strange time, and I imagine a reasonably busy time. So yeah, if anyone's had anything happen over Christmas, New Year, just put it down, and we can also have a bit of a chat. Just nuisance kids around here. That's the problem with them all being off school as well, isn't it? They get a bit bored. I've been finding laughing gas canisters around where I am, which is pretty strange because it's a reasonably nice area. So yeah, it's just the kids having too much time off and not really knowing what to do, and obviously the parents maybe had to work and things like that. So yeah, nuisance kids is a different thing, but most of them should be going back to school now. So hopefully that will sort that out. Tom Bailey. So first incident for the dog, mate, not for myself. Had a male on site near a footpath, but on private property. The dog indicated during a patrol. He done well with the barking, standoff, and alerting me to them. So that's exactly what you'd want. He said he was just waiting for a lift, but was definitely suspicious, but a good calm outcome, and the dog done his job, so gave me a good feeling. And that's exactly textbook, isn't it? So you're out for a patrol, dog indicates, go over there, dog does barking and the standoff, then you chat to that person, find out what they're doing. And sometimes a lot of it is just you letting them know that you know they're there. Now, whether that's visually, whether that's with a torch, whether that's with a dog, whatever it is, a lot of the time, I've said before that maybe like 75% of the job is the dog barking and doing the standoff, because there's not many people that are going to approach you because of that. But sometimes, just when there's someone on the outside of the site, you may not even need to go and talk to them, but them being able to see you and the dog there sometimes is just enough. But yeah, the barking, standoff, and alerting, that is pretty textbook, isn't it? So no, I like that with my dog at the moment. On site last night, it's not a person, but my dog last night. So this is something that I've kind of worked on a little bit, and just seen what the results would be. And I don't do it all the time, but sometimes I let my dog walk around with a ball in his mouth. So it just keeps him happy, and he just trots around with a ball in his mouth. And a lot of people can turn around and say, well, don't do that, because if the intruder comes in and gets his ball and throws it, the dog's going to try and run off, etc. And it's something that I've kind of tested. And basically what it is, the reason that I tested it is that, so my dog walks around sometimes, not all the time, with a ball in his mouth, and he just trots around, and we do a patrol on that. And last night he's walking around, he's got a ball in his mouth, and all of a sudden the ears go up. And I was like, right, okay. I know that there's a fair few animals around, so I'm like, okay. Ball gets dropped on the floor, and 40 yards of dog going, there's someone there, there's something there. Now, the reason that I've tested it is I wanted to test my dog's, wanted to test my dog's instinct to survive over wanting to play ball. So I wanted to test my dog's instinct that if there is a threat, or if there is something that can become a threat, is my dog's instinct to survive and tackle that problem greater than him wanting to play ball. And by my dog dropping the ball, and if you've seen a lot of my videos, his ball in outside working life, his ball is all he wants. All he wants to do all day is play ball. And for my dog to drop that ball and go 40 yards away from it to deal or locate that problem or that threat proves to me that his instinct to survive and deal with that situation over playing ball means to me that it's okay for him to walk around with a ball. Now, if he had a ball in his mouth and there was an indication, or if a fox walked straight past us and he still had his ball in his mouth and he's just like, I want to play, then that would be it. I'll say, right, I can't let him patrol with a ball in his mouth. But the fact that he just turns around, spits the ball on the floor and says, right, let's go and deal with this, Dad, and then we'll come back for that ball once we've sorted it out, is something. So, like I say, that's just something that I've been testing a little bit, and my outcome to that now is that I'm happy if he wants to walk around with a ball in his mouth. I'm happy for that, because I know that if there is a situation, his instinct to survive and deal with a threat is greater than his instinct to play ball and ignore it. If you get a pet dog's ball, let's say a spaniel. So you got someone's spaniel, you get their ball, you throw the ball away, you then attack their owner. That dog's instinct, the spaniel's instinct, would be to go and get that ball, play fetch, come back, not do anything. My dog's instinct, if you got the ball, threw it away, and he went away, if I then got attacked, he would forget about that ball and go, hold on, what the fuck was going on over there? So, like I say, it's just an instinct to survive over the instinct to want to chase or play ball. I just thought was quite important and something that I'd tested. Shadow indicated on 60 quid's worth of cannabis that the kid threw in a bush. Okay, I haven't done drug detection. Now, in this week's video, I said in one of my previous lives about stuff that I train on site. And in this week's video is going to be like a little game that we play in the cabin. So basically, the game in the cabin is just hide the treat. Dog has to try and find it. But I'll just go into a little bit of detail on like reading my dog. A lot of people that have been doing this job for a while, or a lot of people that have done article search work with their dog, they'll know about all this kind of stuff. But it's the dog finding the treat and the difference between him sniffing in the air to him sniffing in a particular area, and how the sniffing gets quicker and more intense the closer he gets to something, and then obviously the indication as well. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's kind of like a look at maybe a game that you can play at home that we do on site. So but yeah, I've not done drugs. I know that there's some people at training that have that's doing that kind of stuff, but obviously I don't have any cannabis just hanging around the house that I can train him on. So yeah, I think I would have to go and do like a special course for that, I would imagine. But I very much doubt whether I'll do that with my dog. I would probably get a more specialized breed for that, whether it be a lab or a spaniel or whatever it is. If I was going to go into sort of drug detection, I would go into it with another dog rather than trying to multitask my dog. At the moment, it may change, but at the moment, I just wouldn't want to put my dog now through that stuff. I'd rather just keep him as he is, as a article search and like a GP dog rather than a drug detection and GP. So also, let's talk about the last couple of videos. So the last couple of videos has been like my 2021 review. And basically that's me reviewing myself over the last year. So the 2nd of January was my first video that I put out. And I think the 13th of January was my first shift. So it's been it's been a calendar year of me working. And it was just kind of an overview of me as a handler and the things that I was pleased that I've done. I think I said about not being set up correctly with the van, being my one regret. So it took me, don't know what, 4 or 5 months to really sort out a van and things. I had the car with the cage and all that, so I was set up to do the job, but I wasn't set up to the way I am now. And that was probably one of my regrets, is not getting that done quicker. But just with how much it costs to go through your NAS, do things like that, you can understand that you may not have the money to do the van and set up a van, etc. So that was like my one regret. But things I was proud of was things like the way I am as a handler, the way my dog is now in terms of his protection side, as well as his kind of pet side of him. I'm really happy about that. Said about the YouTube channel, I've been really pleased with how that's gone. I feel like I've possibly started something that maybe we can get some more people into, and I know there's a few people that have started up, like UK Security 101. He's started up his kind of review of security equipment, things like that, and it's kind of give him the kick to start doing that. And hopefully there may be some other people that have got a little bit inspired, even if it's just to document how you are. I said it in my first year on YouTube video, like, even if it's just to document your journey or document different little things. Like I do my videos one way, where I do talking and things like that. You may want to do a video where you don't speak to the camera. I know that speaking to the camera is very hard. When I first started my golf one and I was trying to talk to the camera, it was very awkward. And it's not until you do it for a certain amount of time that you start getting used to it. And like I say, talking to a camera is quite hard. So maybe your first few videos is just going to be you just filming you training or filming you working with your dog. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same way that I do videos. It's not necessarily maybe you putting a video out to give information, like I've done with like my vehicle video and different things like that. Maybe just starting is you just uploading a video, like I say, of you just doing different things, working with your dog, even if it's maybe just like a 5-minute video of you doing some doing some hill work, doing some protection training, doing some article search work, just like a 5-minute compilation of a video of that, it may just get you started, and then maybe you'll kick on, and then at one point maybe you will start talking into the camera. There's no problem with you starting filming and trying to do the talking part. And if you don't feel comfortable, or if you don't feel like it's good enough, you can always just sit it in a folder and just leave it there. And in every video, just try doing some talking bits, and then one day you'll go, actually, I look a little bit more comfortable now, or I'm happy how that's come out. Like I say, it's very hard just to crack on and feel comfortable. My first golf video is just me standing there like this. Like, hi, I'm Michael, and this is my golf video, and yeah, we're just going to play some golf. So yeah, let's do that. That's pretty much how my first video is. And now, over the time and getting more comfortable with it, you can see I'm a little bit more relaxed, and I can talk. I can talk to myself mainly, because that's basically what this live is. I'm talking to you, but I'm basically talking to myself, and it's just a case of just getting used to it. And like I say, you can film talking bits all the time, but it doesn't mean that you have to post that out. You can just compare it. You can just compare it to maybe the last time you spoke in front of camera and see how you're progressing with it. And then one day you'll say, right, I'm happy with this. I can start doing talking videos now. Chip King, funny thing, he's not training, so he found cannabis, although he's not trained to find cannabis. I'm not saying it is, but is that because there's loads around your house? But I'm only joking. I'm joking on that. UK Security One, I know exactly what you mean, mate. I'm only just getting comfortable talking to the camera. Still got a long way to go. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people maybe don't do YouTube videos because they feel like they're going to be really awkward on camera. Let me assure you, everybody is awkward the first time when they're on camera. Like, it just takes some getting used to. And I think even now, I'm still a little bit awkward. If I took my camera into a town centre and I just got my camera out and just started talking to the camera, and I was doing bits and pieces, I know that I would be awkward. But if I'd done that once a week, at some point I'd say, right, I'm comfortable to do it. I look comfortable enough to do that now. And I think with the public now is that they know so many people do stuff on their do videos on their phone, or whether it's like an Instagram story, whether it is like a YouTube thing. A lot of people now, they'll look to see what you're doing, but they just accept that as being normal now. If you'd done that 10 years ago, everyone would be looking at you going, what the hell is this guy doing? Why is he walking around with a camera? Now it's kind of, oh, he's walking around with a camera, he must be making a video. So, like I say, if you feel like you don't want to do the YouTube because you're worried about people judging you by how awkward you are, ask them to put a camera in front of their face and upload their first video of them talking to a camera, because I can guarantee it won't be what they think they can do. And like I say, it is a bit of fun. And even if, like I say, your first few videos are you just documenting you doing some different bits and pieces, I could possibly do a quick video if you want at some point of me literally doing a video from start to finish on my phone. Now I've got an iPhone, so I can record stuff on my phone. I can use the iMovie or whatever it is on it to edit it, and I can put some music to that. It hasn't got to be all the tricks and flicks and things like that. I could do a video if you wanted to, where I just do it on my phone. You don't need to go out and buy a GoPro, or you don't need to go out and buy a £300 camera in order to do this. I could do a YouTube video. I could do a YouTube video on my phone and upload it, and I could show you guys. It's just because I do mine a little bit differently. It's because I'm a little bit more settled into it. So if you're thinking, well, I don't want to do it because I don't know what editing software I need to get, I don't know how I would cut and do different things like that, it's not as hard as you think. And like I say, once you get into it, once you upload onto using your phone and you get into it, then maybe you will want to progress that into some different editing software, and maybe you will want to buy like a GoPro where you can set it up. I would say that if you're going to do this, if you're going to do YouTube videos for dog handling, I would get a GoPro, because they're so much easier to move around. They're obviously a lot smaller, and they're easy to carry. And then if they get knocked, they're normally in cases, so you're not going to damage the camera. So I'd say that if you are thinking about doing on-site videos, things like that, I'd recommend the GoPro, just because, like I say, if it starts getting knocked about, you can put it in a case and it's not going to get damaged. So, and then the second video, which pretty much follows what I was just talking about, was my first year on YouTube, and that was just kind of like the stats of how I've done and different things like that. Like over 37,500 views in a year, which I still find, although with YouTube everyone's like, well, that's small, but for me to get that many views on my videos is still good. I think I've got 350 something new subscribers in the last year, which is just under one a day. And again, just people that are willing to subscribe and want to watch more videos or want to join me on what we're doing, even if it's just for the lives. If people don't watch my videos but just want to join in on the lives, that's still good. Like, you're still getting some interaction there. And like 2,800 hours of watch time. It's just crazy that amount of time people have watched my videos for that amount of time. Like, over a year is obviously a long time, but can you imagine nearly 2,800 hours of people doing that? Now, one of them videos was probably the how fast video, and if you haven't checked that out on my channel, it's one of my earlier videos. It was just a fun one I've done with my dog, testing how fast he could run over 50 meters. And that video's got 11,500 over the course of the year. There was a couple of websites that linked it in to kind of show like a dog, like a German Shepherd's athleticism, his speed, obviously. And I think because he was chasing the ball, how accurate a German Shepherd can be whilst running at pace. Because just in front of the camera, he nails the ball. So I'll say, just the stats for me has been really good, and for the first year has been great. But I'd say the biggest thing over the course of the year is the channel evolving. I said in the video about how it started from me just walking around my field, just literally just talking about what I'd gone through for the last 6 months, about starting my dog off in the protection side, the journey that we kind of made, and things like that, to where it is now, where we can sit down and we can have a live where we chat about different things, and I can answer people's questions. And like I say, there's a bit of a community from all over the UK and some other places where you come in and we just have a good chat about stuff that's happened and different things like that. So I'll say I've been really pleased with the YouTube channel over the past year. I'm hoping you guys have all enjoyed it as well. But like I say, I would just like to see maybe a couple of people start doing it as well, and just doing their version of content for security dog handling, because I said in the video that I don't think people know this is where to come to find out information regarding dog handling. Now, I've had lots of people over the year that have come in and said, look, I was really struggling to find information about becoming a security dog handler until I found your channel. And it may take some other people doing just dog handling videos in order to bring more eyes to this is where it needs to be. If you want to teach your dog how to sit, how to down, how to, I don't know, recall, everyone knows that you come to YouTube and there's going to be 1,000 videos of someone teaching you how to recall your dog. Is there there's not 1,000 videos that tell you this is how to become a security dog handler, and if you are a security dog handler, this is how you should act. This is how you should take pride in your job. And like I say, maybe it just takes a couple more people just to do it, to bring more eyes, because there are a shortage of security dog handlers in the industry. There's companies that are crying out for handlers all the time, and there may be someone that you know that actually wants to do it but hasn't had that push, and maybe it could be watching your video that they turn around and say, look, I'm really interested in getting into this, can you help me? So maybe just you doing that will bring one of your mates into being a security dog handler, or whatever it is. So yeah, that's just like my overview of maybe the last couple of videos. I want to thank you guys obviously for the year. A lot of you have been around since the start, or maybe in the middle of last year, maybe back end of last year, and really, not say, dragged me to making sure that I get videos out every Saturday, making sure that I'm giving decent content. I understand that maybe a couple of the videos throughout the year wasn't the best. Like, it had some information in it, but maybe it wasn't the most entertaining thing. That maybe that video was just to get a message out. I think there was a video I'd done about my dog being, I can't remember what the video was. Basically, my dog is an item. He's not a partner. Like, he's not a security officer. He's just seen as an item. And if people want to hurt him or whatever it is, it's the same as them smashing your iPhone. Now, I understand that video was just me in the front room with a dog, and I understand that video is not entertaining, but it gets out a message. So yeah, I want to thank all you guys obviously for cracking on and still following me through it all, and accepting some of the unentertaining videos that just have a message in them. And hopefully 2022, I've started off this year with this video as more of a vlog style, that brings in different parts, and hopefully I can start doing that a little bit more often. And definitely in the summer, this year in the summer, I'm going to concentrate more on getting 2 or 3 videos done a week. So I'm not under pressure to maybe film a video on the Thursday, knowing it's got to be up on the Saturday. So yeah, this year, that's probably the one thing I learned from YouTube this year, is that when I've got the opportunity to film a video, and making sure obviously it's got a message, or it's entertaining, or there's a reason for it. But if I have an opportunity to get a video done, is to get it then, and not think, oh, I'll just do that tomorrow. But hopefully you've all enjoyed it, and like I say, it's been a good year. Maybe it's just the start of something. Oh, so that is 38 minutes of you listening to me. So is there anyone that's got any questions? Like I say, this is a chance, if you've got any questions, just to get them out. There's some people in here that will have some answers if you've got anything, even if it's just questions about YouTube. I can answer questions about YouTube if you want. I can answer questions about my dog. But other than that, let's see what everyone's got. Oh man, what is it you guys are wanting from me this year? Like, I understand that obviously people want some information videos, and I feel like a lot of people don't know they want that information until you give it to them. So maybe it's a bit hard that you saying what you want, because until I maybe do a video about it, you don't actually realize you needed that information. So yeah, if there's anything that you guys want more of, I'm going to be more committed to filming every training session that I do with my trainer. Whenever I go training, committing to making sure I film that every time. I've probably filmed maybe one in 2 or 1 in 3 that I've been to. Sometimes when I've gone, I've seen who's around, and I've just felt like I don't need to film any biting stuff, or I don't need to film any patrol stuff. So yeah, I'm going to try and dedicate making sure that I'm filming a little bit more on training. And if I do get the opportunity, maybe speaking to some handlers on camera. Maybe that's something that I can kind of bring into it. I know there's a lot of handlers that don't want to be on YouTube, don't want to be online, which is absolutely fine. I'd never make them. But maybe there's a chance to maybe speak to some people with a bit more experience, or just to get an inside knowledge of maybe what they think about different things. VYN FYI, I have no idea what that means. No idea. Any more thoughts on a second dog for you at the moment, mate? And would you go for a German Shepherd again, or different? Playing with the idea for a pup this summer, but waiting for the right one. How old's my dog? My dog's 3 in March. So at the moment, no. So I've got, I'd say, a couple of years maybe until I'm probably going to get one, unless obviously, touch wood, it doesn't happen. But obviously, unless something happens, I just don't have the room for multiple dogs. So I think I would probably wait for a couple of years. Obviously, a lot of you know, just before Christmas, me and the girlfriend got engaged, and we're setting the date for 2024, and we've got to save up obviously a lot of money for that as well. So I think the extra dog with the extra food bill, whatever it is, all the extras that come with having a dog, would just cut into the wedding fund. And if in 18 months' time I turned around to the girlfriend and said, like, we could have had this, but because I bought a dog, we can't have it. You can just imagine what that conversation is going to be like. So yeah, I'd say at the moment possibly not for a couple of years. I would go for a German Shepherd or different. So it's such a strange one, because I've always said that I want to have German Shepherd. I want to have a German Shepherd. I'd never go away from German Shepherd. I feel like they're the best. I'm so thinking about, I'm so thinking about, I like playing with the idea of a Malinois, but I feel like I just like playing with that idea. I don't feel like I'm brave enough at the moment to go for it, because I'm not the most experienced handler. Now, you can say, oh, but you're a good handler, etc. I haven't gone through enough different dogs, I feel like, to turn around and say, you know what, I feel like I can go for a Malinois. So I feel like I play with the idea of a Malinois, but I don't feel like I would take that risk just yet. There may be a time that comes where I'd possibly look at it. But at the moment, I think I'll just stay with German Shepherd. But also, in saying that, if it come to a point where I'm like, okay, I want to get a second dog now, if the right Malinois come up that was young enough, possibly I'll play with the idea of doing it. Like I say, it all depends on the situation at home at the time. I don't have enough room here for multiple dogs. If I was possibly looking at something, maybe if I was going to get a second dog now, I would possibly go down the route of maybe like a spaniel, and maybe looking into drug detection. But that again, I feel like I like playing with that idea, but whether I actually act on that is a different thing altogether. So to answer the questions, no for the second dog at the moment. I'd probably stay with German Shepherd, although I like playing with the idea of Malinois. And you're waiting to get a pup this summer, but waiting for the right one. And that's if you know what you're doing. I know that you you've got a couple of dogs, I think it is, and you obviously know what you're doing, so there's no point in me going too much into breeding, and you probably know more than I do about that. I've lost hope. Finally here. Sorry, just sorting my crypto out. I said this in the last video. I don't understand crypto, and if it makes you over 40 minutes late for one of our lives, you've got to wonder if it is actually worth it. I just bought my third dog. Is that with crypto? Can you buy a dog with crypto? Danny Rolfe, I think maybe the different types of job sites you could work doing GP work. Okay. I did do a sites video, but I think that was quite early on, that maybe I could do a little bit of a better video on that now. And shifts like 12, 15, 24, how do you people prepare for longer ones? Yeah, so in the 24 hours one, I've done a little bit of the my 24 hours video was a little bit of like my preparation before shift and doing a shift. But yeah, maybe I could do a different one in terms of, I can definitely do 12 and 15 because that's ones I've done. I've not done 24, but I've spoken to a lot of people about it. So maybe I can do a little bit of I can do a little bit of an explanation regarding 24-hour shifts. But like I say, unlike I've Lost Hope, who's just said, I've not actually done 24s. And the reason that I haven't done 24s is that I don't feel like I don't feel like I need to do it. If there come a point where I felt like I needed to do that, then obviously I would. But for me at the moment, I only work as much as I need to. So yeah, but yeah, I could possibly do something like that. UK Security 101. Tom Bailey, I'd say specifically for this job role, Rottweiler or Doberman, especially the Doberman, as they were bred by a tax collector specifically for protecting him against attackers. Tom Bailey, definitely better to wait for the right one rather than rush it, mate. Malinois are a special thing. Don't rush for one of them. And that's what I was saying to you. I feel like I like playing with the idea of a Malinois, but whether I actually brave enough to go, yeah, let's go for it. I don't feel like it would suit my home life, and I don't feel like the girlfriend would trust it as much as she would a German Shepherd. But you never know. You don't know what's going to happen, dear. Right, I've made the best start to the new year. Just put a deposit on a German Shepherd after a year or so of thinking if this was the route I wanted to go, and definitely is. So excited to put in the work. Congratulations on putting down the deposit for your dog. Like I say, if you're excited about putting in the work, etc., I always feel like that makes the best handler. As long as you're willing and you want to put work in and different things like that, you just have to be committed. I saw someone say the other day that this job is more of a lifestyle than it is a job. A lot of people, they can go to work and it's just a job, and they'll say, right, for them 9 hours, that's what I can just concentrate on that. With this job, it is a lifestyle. It's like, okay, so for that 15 hours, I've got to go there and I've got to concentrate on doing this. Once we leave there, once I come home, I've got to concentrate on doing this, and then I've got to do this, and then tomorrow I have to concentrate on doing that again. So yeah, it's more of a lifestyle than it is a job. So anyone that's thinking about getting into security dog handling, you just have to remember that there is no real day off. Like the dog doesn't wake up one day and he's like, no, I don't need to go and play ball. I don't need to go for a wee. I don't need to go to the toilet today. Like the dog is still there going, right, let's go play ball. Let's do something. So yeah, it is a lifestyle. If you're an employee, you can't do it, but self-employed you can. That's 24s, isn't it? So I have heard about you can't do 24-hour shifts as an employee, but as an employer or self-employed, you can do 24s. My question is, how does your dog know the difference between work and home in terms of them working? It's a tricky question. So I'd say that the difference my dog knows between working and home life. So once you get your dog to a certain standard, and I'm sure a lot of people in this live can back me up on this, is that once you get your dog to a certain point, your dog will guard that front door no matter what happens. That dog understands that he has to protect his area that he feels like, or she feels like she lives in. But I'd say the biggest way that I do the work difference is that I won't use his bite toys in the house or at home anymore. Now I've moved out and I don't need to do loads and loads of training because I'm working. I don't use the bite toys or the sleeve or anything like that. I don't do that at home. All the toys that he has in the flat are all ones that we just play a bit of tug with, or ones that squeak or things like that. And it's just accepting that when you get your puppy, or when you get your dog, is inviting people to come in. Sorry, I've done something really weird then, didn't I? When you get your puppy, inviting lots of people to come into the flat, to come in and play with the dog and things like that. I feel like that's a very important thing at an early age, is that the dog understands that there are lots of people going to be coming to where he lives, and when they come in, that it's okay to play with them. They can play and things like that. That's why in the last live you saw my dog going at the door, and when my girlfriend opened the door, being very protective. But once he realised it's someone that comes into our place and he plays with them, he calms himself straight down. Now, if that was a stranger and they come in, until that person settles down and sits down and me and the girlfriend start acting normally, he will still be a little bit on edge. But once we start acting normally and that person starts acting the same as other people that come into our place act, that's when he'll calm down. And I listened to a good podcast, the Canine Paradigm, and they're very knowledgeable guys. And if you're into podcasting, I recommend going to the Canine Paradigm podcast and listening to it. And they explained quite well about how dogs see pictures. So the dogs see different things in pictures. So for my dog, he sees a picture of how someone normally reacts, or how someone normally walks past us. If that picture is different, that's when the alert comes. So let's say we're walking in the park and he has a picture of how someone normally walks past us. If he sees that picture, he just allows them to walk past. If that person darts towards us, that's a completely different picture. That's something that he's in his head. It's not a picture he's seen before. And his now automatic defense to that is to do a standoff. And that's why you'll see sometimes you'll see dogs react differently, because it'll be like, hold on, I've not seen this before. And a lot of maybe pet dogs, things like that, if they see a picture they've not seen before, a lot of them, their instinct is to go and hide. You get to the dogs we've got now, and their instinct is to stand and be the first line of defense. But when I'm on site, I do lots of training that we do. So a lot of the training that I do with my trainer, I'll do on site. So my dog understands that, okay, so what I do there when I have to go and bite that person with the sleeve, what we do there, we also do here. So this must be exactly the same. So when we're on site, he has the pictures of training, and he has them pictures where he is there. So yeah, I'd say that's what it is for me. But the dog understanding that people are going to come into where he lives, and when they come in there, they will play and they're not a threat. There's not a lot of people that will break into your house when you're there and start playing with the dog. So the dog won't get that picture. When someone breaks into the house and you're there, it's normally very aggressive, or it's a more aggressive approach. So all the people that come in and play with the dog, that's one picture. Someone breaking in and being aggressive is a completely different picture to that dog. So the dog should switch between the two depending on what picture he sees. But yeah, I'll say my dog will be a little bit uneasy until he sees that person acting the same way as normal people act when they come into our place. Sit down, have a drink. We had Ada's mum and dad, brother, and girlfriend round for Christmas, and the dog was at my mum and dad's for one night whilst I went and picked them up from the airport, different things like that. And all I said was to the girlfriend, I said, "Look, I'll be back in 5. When the dog comes in, just make sure everyone's sitting down. Don't let anyone be standing up, walking around, because that will be too much for him, that he won't understand what's going on." So basically what I did with Ado is I said, "Look, just get everyone to sit down. I'll let the dog in. He'll come in. He'll probably give a couple of barks, but he'll go around, sniff everyone that's sitting around. I'll walk in and I'll say hi to everyone. I'll sit down, make myself a drink, to start acting normal." And I would say within 3 minutes, the dog had just settled down and didn't care about anyone, because everyone was acting normally, sitting down, whatever it was, and no one was walking around or shuffling around, and the dog wasn't getting excited. He's come in and everything's very calm, and he's like, "Okay, everyone else is calm. Okay, I can be calm then." Gave everyone a bit of a treat as well, so they could all give him a treat. But yeah, just like I say, it's just different things like that, but making sure that when you are at home, that you're not doing anything that's going to trigger him into, hold on, that's what I do when I go to this other place. Like I say, a lot of that is, if you've got bite toys or bite sleeves, I leave mine in the van, so there's no chance of anyone being able to pick them up or doing whatever. Talking about use case security 101. Yes, mate, totally agree. Just not as ready, available as, and the lines available are not all that compared to the other breeds in the UK. Yeah, so Tom, you are Ireland, Republic of Ireland, I believe. Get a nice import. I think imports now, is it correct that imported dogs have to be a minimum of 6 months old? You can't get, I'm pretty sure there was something about, I mean, obviously, unless you go through a proper breeder, or that might be a different conversation. But I think to try and stop puppy farming abroad, they stopped people being able to import pets under 6 months, which could be an interesting conversation. 4 months, I think. Okay. Sean Bartlett, miracle I didn't lose signal on that patrol. I'll just hope through routine, chill at home and switch back for work if the dog is trained properly. Yeah, I'd like to say when you're at home, you should try and keep it as chilled out as you can. And when you are at work, making sure the dog is a little bit more G'd up, making sure that you are doing different things that you would do at training. That's my advice. Like I say, if the dog understands that what he does at training, he also does where he's working, when he goes there, he switches into, right, this is what happens when I come in. And if someone walks out and starts being aggressive, what I do at this other place, this is what I do here. That's the way I interpret it anyway. John and Murphy, hey, bud, is there any security work related jobs I can do with my dog before I finish my NASDU course? And someone else might be able to help me with this. I'm pretty sure, I didn't do it myself. I'm pretty sure that you can you can work whilst you're doing your NASDO. As soon as you sign up for your NASDO, I'm pretty sure you can work until you can work whilst you train. So it's a little bit like, let's say, an electrician. Whilst an electrician's doing his college course, he can also go out on the tools to sites and work. I'm not incorrect in saying that, am I? So yeah, if that is the case, there'll be lots of companies that will be looking around that will take you on as a handler. I'd say at the start they'll probably pair you up with someone and see how you go from there. I actually finished my NASDO before I started going out on site. So I've Lost Hope said pretty much you'll probably get about 1 hour less. Well, Tom Bailey, what about the Chinese Red Dog? They look amazing and are now available in the UK. John and Murphy, guessing that's work just a standard SIA, like static guard with dog in training. Yeah, so with if I'm reading that right, if that's the question you're asking, so your SIA license is what every security officer has. It's the NASDO part of it which makes you a dog handling capabilities. So everyone that's in this live, I would imagine, is an SIA security officer, and a lot of us now have dog handling capabilities. So the first thing you are is a security officer. The second thing you are is a security officer with dog handling capabilities. I've Lost Hope. Red Dog, not NASDO dog. Like I say, Tom Bailey's in Ireland, so I'm assuming that it's going to be similar breeds. But I don't know whether in Ireland, if they do have a different set of, well, maybe some extra breeds that people can use. I'll be interested because I'm assuming that NASDO maybe don't go out to Ireland. But they will probably go Northern Ireland in the UK, but whether they do Ireland as well, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, how long is that? Hour and 2 minutes. Right, we'll give it to an hour and 5. If anyone's got any more questions, last couple of questions. Obviously, you can go down once this live's over. You can go down in the comments and maybe carry on some conversations or carry on a couple of more questions. I've got some stuff I need to do. So if there's anyone that's got some last minute questions, like I say, the video coming up this week or this Saturday is one that I'll be editing probably tomorrow. It's just going to be following me from Tuesday when I get to shift all the way through until basically I started this live. There's certain bits I've left out, like filling up my van with AdBlue, because why the hell do you want to see me do that? Unless, of course, I spill it all over the engine. But yeah, other than that, it's I think it's been another good live. Like I say, we had a good chat. Most of it's been obviously me going on. If you wasn't here from the start, I've Lost Hope. I know you like watching these. If you want to go back and watch this from the start, there's an interesting thing I spoke about at the very start regarding like a dream or nightmare I had. That's an interesting conversation. Maybe something that you might have views on yourself. So, like I say, if you want to go back and watch this video from the start, then obviously it'll be available once this stream ends in a minute's time. But yeah, like I say, it's going to be, what's it now? So it's going to be not next Wednesday, the Wednesday after. We'll come back and do this all again, where hopefully we'll get some new people in, and we can talk about some different things. Maybe something will happen between now and then. Tom Bailey, Porsche K9, and Sean, I will contact you this week regarding setting up the Zoom calls. If he wasn't here earlier, just been really busy. Going to sort that out now. Now we're back up and swinging into 2022, and we'll sort them out. So, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got some questions answered. Maybe you got some information. Anyone know any good security companies around Maidstone? Prestige Guarding, who I work for. They are from Prestige Guarding are East Peckham. So, John and Murphy, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's the MWS YouTube channel. Want to follow me on Instagram, send me a message on there. I work for Prestige Guarding out of East Peckham, and I can help you with anything you need to know about this area. Tom Bailey, you're lucky one my giveaways. Right, guys. Right, that's been another good live. John and Murphy, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. I'll help you out, guys. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Hope you enjoy all the videos. Thank you for all your input, and I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Cheers for watching, guys. Enjoy your time. Bye bye.